Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm excited to share with you how to create a pair of classic hoop earrings that has boosted my visibility on Etsy for the first time. When I first set out to learn silver jewelry making, I was completely captivated by the endless possibilities. I spent hours watching tutorials, video, I also buy books. And I also asked a lot of questions on Google. At that time, there's no AI yet. One day, while browsing on YouTube, I stumbled upon a fascinating video about hardening silver wire. And I'm thinking, okay, this is easy. I think I can do this. So the next minute, I ordered my very first anvil on eBay and also peeked into my husband's toolbox and found this hammer right here. When the anvil arrived, I set up my makeshift workspace on the floor of my kitchen and I followed the steps from the video closely. But I had to be creative because I don't have all the tools. So instead of using a mandrel, which I didn't have at that time, obviously, I rummaged through my home for any other household tools that I can find. I remember I even used the nail clippers to cut the wire. It works. Now, you will ask, what's the story has to do with today's video? Well, I'm going to recreate the process, meaning making the hoops earrings using bottles instead of mandrels. So I pulled out two bottles. One is the perfume bottles, and the other one is slightly smaller, is the essential oil. And another one is the toothpaste cover. I don't have it with me right now, but I thought that it's a perfect diameter. I'm not sure which one am I going to use, and we'll see how it develops. Okay, without further ado, let's dive into the process and see how these bottles can help us create beautiful and unique hoops, just like I did back then. Let's get to work. To make the hoop earrings, obviously we need wire. For this project, I choose this 18 gauge silver wire. You can also use the gold field or copper wire. I want to make around 3 centimeter diameter hoops earrings. So 3 centimeter times 3.14 is around 9.4 centimeter. And I add around 1 to 1.5 centimeter for the closure. So I cut around 10.5 centimeter at length for each piece. The length of the wire will depend on the diameter of the hoops that you want. A formula for circle is very useful here. I will add the formula on the description below if you are interested. Using a piece of needle file, I'm going to make the edges of this wire smooth and round. The needle file is not that expensive. However, if you haven't got one yet, you can of course use household items included low-grade sandpaper. I tell you what, if you don't have any one of these yet, the last resort is to use the nail file. Next, this tool is very indispensable, the round nose pliers. I'm going to make a loop on one end of the wire, like this. And on the other end of the wire, I'm taking 3 to 5 millimeter at length. Let me just measure it to make sure. And using the flat part of the round nose pliers and fold it away from the curve, just like this. I have these two wires ready. Let's get to the fun part. Let's observe the bottle. I have this perfume bottle, essential oil bottle, and the last is this toothpaste cover. The toothpaste cover has less than 35 millimeters in diameters. The perfume bottle has exactly 30 millimeters in diameters, and this oil bottle is 25 millimeters in diameters. And I have my thinking off camera there. I'm just gonna go ahead and jump to a conclusion that I decided to use the smallest bottle. I know that the diameter is small, but you will see I'm pressing one end against the bottle and gradually applying pressure to the wire along the hemisphere of the bottle all the way to the other end. It is similar to giving a massage. You want to push firmly but gently, using slow movement with small muscles. By the way, this is a dead soft wire. If you have a half hard wire, it will take longer to form, but faster to harden. I'm going to fork the second wire and let you watch the process. The wire will overlap, but it's okay. Gently massage the wire all the way to the end of the wire. Like I said, it will overlap, but don't worry about it. We'll fix that later. So now we have two circles. Let me get rid of these bottles first and let's move on to the next process. I take my flat nose pliers and adjust the clasp as follow. I also stretch the circle a little bit so that the two ends meet in the middle and not overlapping. I also open the loop so that it's easy to close the clasp. I would advise you to take time through this process because this will determine the shape of your hoops. Let's check with the bottle. Now, the bottle is 2.3 centimeter in diameter and the end result of my hoop is in 30 millimeters or the same as 3 centimeters. The next step right now is to give a texture to the hoops. I'm using anvil. I have reconditioned this anvil by sanding the top part with the lower to larger grit sandpaper. It's a lot of work, but it's so worth the effort. Let's put these hoops flat on the anvil, and the hammer is any hammer really, but the most important thing is to have the head very smooth and shiny like this. Remember, I'm going to give a texture and at the same time, it will also harden the piece. Holding the piece with my two fingers to keep the shape, just hammer very softly. It will take the texture, don't worry. Because if you hammer too hard, the wire will warp due to excessive pressure. And we will not only use the circle shape, it will also break. The intense force can create stress in the wire and it will destroy the wire. If you ask me if I have broken the pieces yet, yes, the answer is yes for sure. So I learned my lesson and have always been gentle with my wire since then. After the texturing is done, I noticed that my clasps are warping a little bit. So no problem, there I would just put them in a place using the flat nose pliers. To harden the curve shape, this cone part of the anvil is perfect for the job. I have another tip. While you may not be able to texture without the texturing hammer and a good anvil, you can, however, still harden your wire with only a hardware hammer. By putting the hoops in between the pages of the thick book and hammer, it will prevent scratching the jewelry while the impact from the pounding will definitely harden the piece. After the texturing is done, I'm going to make sure that the hoop is really sturdy and hard. So I'm going to hammer it again using the rawhide mallet. You can also use the rubber mallet or wooden mallet. It also works with this work. I received a comment on my other video saying that you find it hard to choose a good hammer from hundreds of other hammer out there in the market. My answer is yes, I can understand. I also had to buy one wrong hammer before I finally invest in Fred's hammer. Okay, you guys, this is a call of action. Actually, it's more like a call of sharing of information. Please let me know in the comment what is the hammer that works the best for you so we can all trade in the information here. Here is the final product, and I'm quite pleased with my hoops. They are not perfectly circular like when I use a mandrel, but I think the organic curve adds to their beauty as long as it's not too irregular. The diameter is perfectly 3 centimeter and the length of the clasp is 5 millimeter. Let's check again. The bottle that I'm using has 23 millimeters in diameter and the end result of my hoops are in 30 millimeters. So we know that the hoops will never take the exact diameter of the bottle, but instead it takes much longer. I really hope that this tutorial has inspired you to think outside the box. When you're just starting out, it's completely normal to feel cautious about investing, especially the tools are not cheap. So you might worry about making purchase that you could later regret. Well, the good news is there's always a way to improvise. So don't hesitate to experiment and make process on your own. Your unique touch is what will make your creation truly special. The possibilities is endless here. This not only save you money but also encourage you to tap into your resources and of course creativity. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this kind of video, leave me a comment below. And if you have an idea on what other household items I can use as a jewelry tool, just for fun, it would be awesome. Happy crafting! Until next time, keep shining bright and creating beautiful things. See you in the next video. Bye bye!